And hello, it is me, it's that D-O-double-G, and I'm here. I can't believe it. I can't believe I get to speak to football, and I can't believe that I'm the fool again. I thought this love would never end. How was I to know? Because you never told me. And it's not just me here today. It is my dear old friend, Lucas. Dear old friend, young friend. He's younger than me. Dear Lucas, how are you, sir?
I'm good. It's been a while, actually, since we've done a pod together, so...
It is. I feel like you've been avoiding me, you know.
You've been making your excuses each Monday.
I've been taking it personally. So every Monday I've been ready to go, and Lucas is busy doing something. And then when I'm not, he's surprisingly available again. But this time you can't get away. I get to enjoy the luscious looks that is Lucas, the most handsome man to stream on Twitch. Bar none. I'm talking of quality, bar none. We are very, very honoured. I'm overwhelmed, actually. I'm overwhelmed. I've had a couple of pre-game peas and even a pre-match poo because of the excitement that has just been overwhelming me. I have washed my hands, though, so we are all good. Because it is not just Lucas and I. It is the award-winning. I hope you've enjoyed me dropping that into everything because he's won an award. He's the award-winning stand-up comedian, actor, writer. If you've seen recently, he does public service announcements, songs, videos. It is none other than the gaffer, Bilal Zafar. Bilal, how are you, sir?
Hey, I'm good, thank you. Thanks for having me.
God, that was a lengthy intro, wasn't it? Did you like?
Yeah,
that?
no, I appreciate it. Yeah,
that was like a good 45 seconds at the very least. Just
a lot of people say like there's a lot of people that have award winning in their thing, and the thing is, there's a lot of awards. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's some you have to pay to enter. And also, I won the one I won was ages. It was like 2016 or something. But I'll take it. But you know,
you ride that big red wave, mate. I tell people I performed for the royal family once. I was about 13.
As a choir.
I was a solo. I will say I was a soloist. I was a guest soloist.
Oh.
But I was like 13. That was like literally decades, plural ago. But I'm still riding that big red wave. That is part of my celebrity, you know. So I've never. Yeah, don't put that down. But for those who are here, thank you for joining us. And we have Lisa straight away is in the chat. Lisa's one of our regulars. We shall say hello. And we have Solaris as well. We've got Bilal Zafar, Imposter Comedy Venue.
Yeah, thank you. Good.
I'm not sure if he's calling you an imposter, or if that's just the venue.
It's like I've told them to say that. Like, get the plug in immediately.
Yeah, that's what you need. And somebody's in already with the football. We might as well just talk football then. While we're here, hello. Do we think Fabrizio Romano is going to get fed up and quit Twitter? No, I don't.
A random question.
Have you listened to it?
I haven't. What has happened with the?
Oh, it's brilliant.
You can update this, but what happened?
Okay, yeah, I followed the whole thing. So some Brentford fan who's got quite a lot of followers on Twitter kept tweeting. So this Fabrizio Romano was tweeting about Raya, the goalkeeper, going to Spurs. And this Brentford fan was really annoyed by it and was saying it's like fake. And he said that's it. He kept claiming that Fabrizio was being paid, I guess, by Spurs to keep saying this, to try and tap him up. And Fabrizio took it really personally, and he said it's illegal for a journalist to be paid in that way. And then he ended up having a phone call with this Brentford fan. And for some reason, the fan put the whole phone conversation on Twitter, like a 10-minute call. But he loses the argument really badly. Like, Fabrizio just destroys him. Like, he's telling him off. So it's quite embarrassing. It's on YouTube. You can find it on YouTube.
It's just a random Brentford fan.
Yeah. I don't know if he's head of some fan thing or maybe some Brentford website or something. But yeah,
Why give him the time of day?
It's just weird, isn't it?
Especially on Twitter. Just don't take it seriously.
Yeah, I love that when people on big names on Twitter grab a random comment. There's something random that says jumps who's it? Lawrence Fox. I don't know if you've seen Lawrence Fox said something and somebody called him out for saying something racist that he did once upon a time. And he went on this guy, you need to retract this, I'm going to take you to court. And it just blew up massive. This guy's getting loads of retweets, people are going after him. And he also sort of have lost that argument because he's just stopped talking about it. Full stop. He's going to take this guy to court and destroy his life. And
it's weird, isn't it? You wouldn't think you'd have such a thin skin when you're so famous and you've got so many people looking at everything you say, but yeah.
Yeah, it's absolutely crazy. I mean,
we're
quickly running. Exactly. I mean, we got Simon though in there saying hello, evening, Simon, and Andy C. Up the Gunners. Dear God, what is going on here? Chris is loving Fabrizio. He thinks he's brilliant. So he must have seen the video and thoroughly enjoyed that. We've also got Realist in the chat. We got a big guest, not you, Crab.
Oh, although I'm not a guest. I've been here more than 6 times, so officially not a guest.
And I will say he is a big man though. So if he was going to be a guest, he would be a big one because he is all man. He is all man there. And Lisa straight in with either the transfer rumor or she's starting one. Van Breggen, whoever that is, means nothing to me. No, nobody knows who that is, but that's exciting.
Yeah, but the players they sign end up being worth like 100 million, man. So we should remember that name. Good.
Yeah, I'm going to plug that into Football Manager. That'll be my signing for FM24. You'll be sensational. And Deal Breaker say if I was to apply to everyone these days. Maybe it's the traction, or maybe he's
just a bit hurt, isn't he? His credibility's been called into question quite a bit in like recent years, so I think he's had enough.
I love it. It's absolutely superb. I enjoy these guys having little breakdowns. So publicly, and of course Bilal is the king of Twitter as well. If you've seen some of his infamous which show was it? Not Care, the show before that.
It's called Cakes. That was all about Twitter spats and stuff. Yeah,
that is sensational. We won't go over it all now, but I will tell you, check it out on YouTube because that is a hoot. But Lisa said he's a Dutch goalkeeper apparently.
Oh, it's going to be class.
And Chris, who knows everything about everything, somehow he signed a 2-year deal. Whoever that is, well done, Brighton, for signing a new keeper. You were one up on Spurs, although Spurs, they've signed a new keeper now, haven't they?
Yes, but I've forgotten who he is.
Argentinian guy.
Is he from? They got him from a Spanish team. Is that right?
That's it. I've got the name. I can't say it. Guglielmo Vicario. From Empoli, 17.2 million. They spent money on him, so he's not going to be any good because Spurs spent money on him. That's usually how I judge. But what we're on Spurs. Let's kick off the actual football. 8 minutes in, we're going to really give it a go now. Talking about football on the Absolute Football Podcast. Speaking of Spurs, Pochettino did his interview for Chelsea today, and some of my favourite quotes that he's got here. In the past 10, 12, 15 years, Chelsea is the greatest team in England. When was he manager at Spurs?
When did he leave? 2018 was it or something? Or 7? When did he leave?
I've got a sneaky feeling.
I think it was around then, wasn't it? Pre-pandemic.
So I got a sneaky. He may have been the manager at the tail end of that 10-year period, but I mean, Lucas, as somebody who is our resident secret Spurs fan, how do you take these comments of Poch telling everyone Chelsea's the greatest team in England? The culture of Chelsea means they're very excited to be winning again.
I don't know about that second part, but I wouldn't have used the word greatest, but they are the most successful in the last, 21st century, I'd say. Since Abramovich bought them, they're the most successful club in England. If you count Champions Leagues, if you give more weight to Champions Leagues than you do Carabao Cups and FA Cups, which I'm sure most people will. But yeah, I'm not sure about that, but he's got to say that. It's a new job. It's a bit of a kick in the teeth to Spurs, but I don't think he said anything completely out there. Obviously, Chelsea are a bit of a shit show at the moment, but he's got to say that. He's got to be up. He's got to tell the fans what they want to hear. Chelsea want to win stuff again. Their fans are used to winning, so I think he's playing the role.
Yeah, he said it's an honour, a pleasure and an honour to be involved at Chelsea Football Club. Now, it was an easy decision to make the move. He was linked to Spurs, but it was an easy decision to make the move to Chelsea. I mean, Bilal, who is also Bilal's being called out here at the moment. Who's that Bilal guy? He's very handsome, says Mr. Willie. What a superb name! And Andy C agrees, the most handsome guy in the borough.
These
Bilal,
are people that, yeah. I'm
these
sorry
are
about
awards
this.
that you said about earlier. But they can't live in the same borough. Then you two must live in different boroughs. Because, God, can you imagine that? That would be a handsome borough. Shit, my life. But Mr. Willie against Spurs, how many trophies have they bottled it against Leicester? That trophy doesn't count. The other guy, he said Tottenham have finished. Mr. Levy, not my friend. But he's also got some praise here. Chris thinks. Well, he's saying, do you think Chelsea, Bilal? Do you think Chelsea will get in the top 4 with Poch the bottler?
That's a good question, man. I think it's really, really hard. A bit like this season was. It's very hard to call the top 4 because so many teams are looking very good up there. Like if Liverpool come back, they might. I still think a lot of people slag Liverpool off, but I think they've still got a lot of very good players.
I agree with that.
A lot of injuries and stuff. So I think if they get going again, they could finish quite high up. I think I feel like they might finish like 5th, which will be all right, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, I think his whole thing, like the interview, is obviously just like it's purely a PR thing, isn't it? Like he knows, or he would have been surely like advised or whatever that a lot of Chelsea fans hate him for being at Tottenham. They're saying like we got a bottler in and all of this stuff. So he has to be like, we're going to be back, and I was desperate for this job and all of that. He can't be like Potter and be like, yeah, we'll do our best, kind of thing. Right?
I'm
sick of that.
I felt that when I saw people like giving him, I can't believe you say this, sort of slap in the face of Spurs fans. In fairness, he's not going to come out and say, do you know what? It's all right here. I prefer being at Spurs. Have you been at that club down there? That's really nice. This is all right. But I don't know if I know, but Bilal is. If you haven't checked Bilal out on Twitch, first of all, what are you doing with your life? But second of all, he does do a wonderful Pro Evolution series. I've noticed you can also get on Cameo now. Did I see you did a wedding?
Yeah, but I'm not doing that for much longer. It's because I was broke, really. I did some cameos as the gaffer, but I think I'll probably only do those for another week because I put too much work into them. But yeah, Twitch. I'm going to be on after this actually, like about 9:15. Yeah.
So if you want to get a cameo, now's the time. You got this week.
limited.
Your window closes. He would have earned enough money by that stage.
I don't think it's crazy to suggest Chelsea will get in the top 4.
No.
I honestly, if they finish 3rd, I wouldn't be shocked because it's Chelsea. It's like they do this. They tank the season, then they come back and just have an amazing one. And I know it's a different ownership. It's a different club now than it was before. But
it's the season.
They've got some very good players. They have some very good players in that team, and I think that they made some bad decisions last year, and they've rectified it quicker than anyone would have predicted. Because they've just sold. How many players have they sold now? It's like 10 players.
Do you know
now.
what? I was going through that. I have got this up on my screen, so I can know things. So Chelsea at the moment have released out Havertz, Mendy, Kovacic, Koulibaly, Nathan Baxter, N'Golo Kante, Javier Simmons, Dujon Sterling, Ethan Waddy, Sam McKelland, Prince, a name I can't say, Derek Abu, Timothy I can't say his name. Say his name, Lucas. Bakayoko. He was still
There's
there.
no way. I'm sure
he's
he's been signed at least 3 times in the last like 5 years.
He's been released. Juan
Barbara Rahman's
Castillo
gone as well. I saw that.
Henry Lawrence, Jaden Wareham, Ruben Loftus-Cheek is actually gone to AC Milan. The 17. He was still there, and Charlie. 18 players.
But that I don't think you said Mount. Did you say Mount? Because I guess that's not confirmed. But he's obviously.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, exactly. It's like. What? So they just got to announce it. The club's just got to announce it.
Did you say Mendy as well?
Yes, I did say Mendy. So that'll be like 19 players.
It frees up a lot of salary for them as well. Like they can, I fear if they get Caicedo, I think someone in the chat said about the striker situation is the one question mark, but that
Vlahovic, right? Is good. Don't you think?
Oh, God, imagine.
I feel like he's the answer. It seems obvious.
I'm like in two minds about Vlahovic, but I think Chelsea's probably one of the best destinations if he was to come to the Prem in terms of style. But
Nicholas Jackson, though, where does Nicholas Jackson play? I thought he was a
he's
striker.
all right. Yeah, he's potential. He's definitely potential. You never know. He's a young player. Like, he follows the same sort of policy that they've been doing recently. But
And in
you
Cuckoo,
never know.
could you almost say in Cuckoo's like a shadow striker?
Kind of. There's definitely options. Like, I don't even know. I imagine they're going to line up in what was Poch doing 4-2-3-1 is
God
Poch's
knows.
style, isn't it? I imagine they're going to line up in that, but
8 million midfielders they've got. I mean, there's a lot in the
there's
chat.
another winger.
I mean, Lisa's saying that AC Milan apparently want Pulisic.
I saw that. Yeah.
I can't see a lot of people sort of fighting that. But Deal Breaker saying Chelsea need a striker. Mr. Willies agreed. I'm assuming this is about Bakayoko. He is old school. I can't believe he was still there as well. Chris was saying some of them not near the first team. This is true, apart from like Havertz, Mendy, Kovacic, Koulibaly. In
A lot of them, though, we've never.
Yeah, I
heard
mean,
of.
that's the thing.
Yeah.
There's a name the streets will forget that is very true. That is true. It's allowed to say Chelsea's been like a quadruple FM save for 45 minutes to registration day. I'm assuming you just bomb everyone out there.
That was one time. Okay, one time. It took me ages to get for registration.
But apparently, Mount is at Carrington today. What else is good? Chelsea, they had a good clear out. Andy's saying they need to have a team with minerals. Who said something very similar to that? Somebody said that very similar at the tail end of last season. I tell you who it was. It was the guy who was at Watford. Said it. I want to say about Arsenal, actually.
Oh, Troy
Deeney.
Troy Deeney. Did he say that about Arsenal?
He said cojones once.
Cojones, that's it.
Yeah. No, Minerals is based on a guy, on a Chelsea fan called Johnny Minerals, who always says minerals, and he says Mount has minerals. They shouldn't have got rid of him. I think he said Havertz has minerals. That's his whole. Yeah, that's a whole other. We don't have time.
It's good business, and that's Perez off as well.
Yeah, I thought he was going. He's going to the team with all the old players, going to Atletico Madrid. Isn't it?
Yeah,
where all the old ones go. I mean, so Chelsea. That's interesting. I mean, I don't know if anybody's read the interview. It's very much like where I was alluding to earlier with Bilhal's Pez save. If it's anything like Football Manager, you have interviews, press conferences, and this is a Football Manager interview. First question: what attracted you to the team? You mentioned how important is the history and culture of the club? Are you happy to be here? What will you expect of the players in Cobham? What's your first impression of Cobham? How involved will you be? Absolutely superb. It's a Football Manager press, the laziest press conference I think I've ever seen. Mr. Woody said, "Oh man, that's been a question probably so old with Dennis Wise."
Oh God, good player, Aspilicueta.
He was solid, wasn't
Can't
he?
stand him. I don't know why. There's something about him that I just don't like.
His face.
Yeah, it's his face. It's the face, isn't it? It's just,
same reason I don't
annoying,
like Mason Mount.
really smug face. Like really.
Mason
smug,
Mount
but...
looks like a raccoon. I don't know if you've ever noticed that.
He does.
He does. I think was it in DuckTales? There was a bad guy who was a raccoon. That's who Mason Mount. That's why I don't like him. Like I can't get along with it. But Chelsea, they've made a lot of players out. A couple in, so we're thinking potentially, bearing in mind you've got Liverpool are going to get better, Newcastle will probably be up there, Man United are probably going to be better, Spurs, I'm going to say Spurs, Arsenal should be competing, and Man City, that's at least
Brighton.
That's
a lot of teams for them to be sort of up in that top four.
I think it's really hard to predict, man. Like if we all say I think everyone assumes City are going to win the league, right? So if you say City are first, who's second? You know, it's like very hard to call.
I'm going to say Liverpool, isn't I? Obviously.
Yeah.
I don't think we will.
If the season started tomorrow, I'd probably if I had to put money on it, I'd probably go with Liverpool. But it's you're right. Outside of Man City, any of those teams, would it surprise you if they finish second?
Yeah.
It's like
I do think Arsenal are going to be good again. Like I feel like everyone's sort of decided that Arsenal are just sort of done now. And that was their best chance of anything, and that's it. But I'd still think they're a very young team, and if see who else we signed. But we've already done probably get to that later, right? But
Yeah, well, do you know what? While you're on it, because we one of the main reasons I thought it'd be good to have both Bilal and Lucas here. I'm not sure what sort of Arsenal fan you are, Bilal. Lucas is, I want to say negatively passionate, but he's realist. He's such a realist. He's a very, because for those of you, Bilal isn't just an award-winning comedian and writer and Twitch extraordinaire man, and he's probably playing somewhere near you. So where are you playing at the moment, Bilal? When is that happening?
All over the place, man. Yeah, it's on my Twitter and website and stuff, but I've got London, and then this week on Wednesday, and then Bath on Saturday, and then Edinburgh Fringe all month. August is the big thing. You know?
Make sure you check that out, everybody. What's your new show? Is it a new show?
Yeah. It's about, I mean, I'll give you a very quick thing so we don't go off topic too much, but I had a housemate, I used to live in a shared house, and I had a housemate go a bit mad and start believing he worked for MI6. And he called the police on me and my housemate about 5 times in 24 hours, and that's what it's about. Yeah.
Oh, God.
So you've got to check that out. So make sure you do if you are going to the Edinburgh Fringe, because you love that.
I think Zissy said he's going to it. He's going to the Fringe. He's near there.
Cool.
So you've got to make sure you check out Bilal there. But Bilal is not just this tremendous comedian that we have the privilege of having. He's also, for reasons known unto himself, an Arsenal fan as well. So I thought it'd be interesting to ask the pair of you at the moment. I mean, Chris is saying is Liverpool 8-1, United a City of favourites. Wow. I think just as a sidebar, apparently your housemate was Alan Brazil. But you've had Havertz come in.
Yeah.
Pablo Mari go out. Guy I don't know go out. Another guy, Maitland-Niles has gone.
Yeah.
Potentially, you're going to blow your load on Declan Rice.
Mm-hmm.
Is that enough? I mean, if we start with you, Bill, start with Bilal, and then we'll be interested to see if Lucas concurs.
I feel like it's a bit weird, isn't it? Because I think they're waiting to see who else is going out, because Partey might be going, and that's where the Lavia links came from and stuff. So I don't know, hope maybe 1 or 2 more. But I am mostly quite positive. Like, even though we messed it up at the end of the season, I was like, it was just much more fun going. Like, I've got a season ticket as well, so like, excuse me, just like, yeah, this season was just amazing. So much of it was, I thought incredible. And I do think very young team. I think Arteta is doing a good job now. It didn't feel like it before, but I kind of trust him. Like, I don't, the signing of Havertz, I think, like a lot of Arsenal fans, I don't understand. But I do, I trust he's got a plan with him. I don't think he's just going to be playing up front like he did at Chelsea. I think, Declan Rice would be an amazing signing. So, I'm quite optimistic. I'm quite excited to see how we do in the Champions League. I'm not saying we're going to win it, but just the whole thing, seeing how we deal with these fixtures now. Because I was so, like, the way that things have... I was used to Arsene Wenger playing incredible football, never spending any money at all. Like, we literally had that window where we only signed Peter Cech, right? So I'm used to that kind of thing. So for us to be potentially breaking the British transfer record, I can't believe it. It's like I'm dreaming, And to do also even in January, the signings of Jorginho, I know that we wanted Caicedo originally, but signing Jorginho and Trossard, I thought was brilliant business. I think we were unlucky with some injuries and whatever. But so I feel like it's all pretty good. I trust it all at the moment, So but I am quite positive. I know a lot of Arsenal fans aren't.
You trust the process.
At the moment, I think you have to, man.
Because do you think Jesus can score you 20 plus goals? Jesus.
No, I don't think he can, but I feel like he doesn't have to if Martinelli and Saka are scoring loads. I think that's how it is, We're not that kind of team that are going to rely on one striker. But I was a little bit disappointed with him, really. I thought he'd be a bit better. Yeah.
And you've got apparently deal breaker selling us Juan Timber, who's a defender at Ajax, who's skipped Ajax training apparently today. He is teetering on the brink at the moment.
He was good in the Euros, or was it the World Cup? What was it last? What did we have just
World
now?
Cup.
The World Cup.
World Cup.
Is that what I'm thinking of?
Yeah,
At Christmas time.
they're back through Ake, Van Dijk, and Timber. They were all pretty decent in that team. Just
and Willie thinks Arsenal's going to win the league with Saka the Golden Boot. City 11th and Fulham 2nd. I mean that's a banker.
You give your dealer a raise.
Where did the Fulham bit come from?
I didn't even see the Saka Golden Boot. I just saw the Fulham bit at first. And
yeah.
But
I do think, like, just to say, like, I'll say one more thing. Like, players like Saka, like, he's getting better, right? Yeah. So, like, it feels like he's just getting started. And Martinelli as well. And we've seen how good Odegaard was for the majority of the season. So it's like, I feel like you have to be pretty optimistic, right?
Well, saying you feel like you have to be pretty optimistic, Lucas.
Don't do that. No, I just don't get as excited as most Arsenal fans.
Yeah, fair enough.
But no, I think they bought themselves some credit. So this, I'm trying to be. I'm not going to use the word positive. I'm trying to be understanding with the Havertz signing, because I feel like they have got credit in the bank. Like, you can't deny it. They have Edu and Arteta from last season and the players they brought in and how they played for the most of the season. So you have to kind of look at it and go, when I first saw it, I couldn't believe it. Because I'm not going to change tune. I've been roasting Havertz for the last 3 years, like most Arsenal fans are. So I'm not going to suddenly pretend it's an amazing player now. I've seen a load of compilations from Leverkusen. I just find it funny. It's like, you can't just erase 3 years. And there's loads of concerns around the Havertz thing. Firstly, he's been pretty poor in the league as a whole. He's played multiple positions for Chelsea. So this whole thing of he's not a striker, he has been playing. Tuchel was playing him behind the striker for a good chunk of that season, which was probably the best they got out of him when they won the Champions League. He's played. I haven't seen him in that 8, but apparently he played in the Leverkusen 8. The 8, I'm not really sure how that's going to work, because I'm sure our 8 needs to basically cover Zinchenko. Because Zinchenko, when he goes for a wander, Xhaka usually sits in at left back. So I think, the Havertz one I'm not sure about. Declan Rice, if you told me we're just getting Declan Rice in the summer and that was it, I'd actually be okay with that, to be honest. I think that's a very, very elite level signing. And it's a load of money, but I've got no qualms of Declan Rice coming in and slotting straight into our midfield and being a very good player. I would have loved Caicedo, to be honest. I thought 2 midfielders would have been the best step in the right direction. But yeah, a goal scorer, Martinelli, Saka, Jesus, you want to get between them. There's goals there. It's just, I do love a goal scorer. Like, we've missed one since Aubameyang, but I think on the whole it's good. And then Timber, I'm not too sure. Like, I haven't really seen him too much, but I think I'm not too worried about him slotting in. If it's a right back, he's going to be more of a defensive right back than someone who bombs forward. It looks like a similar profile to Ben White. So I think it's a step in the right direction. I'm more concerned with the Xhaka and Partey both leaving.
Yeah,
that's a little bit worrying.
I was going to ask, because Xhaka gone.
I think pretty much
done, isn't it? Yeah.
So I mean, because that, for me, Arsenal, they look just a little fluffy. They're just like a little thin, a little weak. You haven't got enough minerals. Yeah. You haven't got any gonies.
2 core players as well in midfield who were pretty solid for the most part of last season. Xhaka's best year really in an Arsenal shirt. Partey's been. You could make a case he's our best player. Like, you could generally make that case in terms of overall ability. So it's quite risky, getting rid of 2 players like that. That's very risky.
Yeah.
It takes balls to do that, but it is a risk. It's just whether it pays off.
I mean, Dealbreaker said he thought they would have saved for squad depth.
This is the thing. I thought we were adding I thought we were adding Rice to Partey to sit next to. That's what I thought it was. But it seems to be Rice is the replacement, and then like a Lavia, unless Liverpool. I'm sure we'll get to Liverpool.
Yeah, because he's saying, what if Rice gets injured? What if Rice does?
Oh, we got El Neni. We got El Neni and Jorginho.
That's what happened. I'm assuming he's gone now. The mental one with all the hair in midfield.
That is El Neni, isn't it?
That's El Neni.
Is that what I'm thinking of? He went to PSG on loan or something. Guendouzi.
Oh, Guendouzi. No, he's gone. Yeah.
Is he fully gone? Is he? I don't know.
I love.
Is he going to Villa?
There's a rumor Emery's
because Emery likes him.
Emery's building an army in Aston Villa at the moment.
Emery's got a game, isn't he?
Yeah, Emery's like I've
Telemans
got
and
European
Guendouzi.
God.
I would
he's
have
got- he's
taken
got-
Tielemans, man.
Yeah.
On a free.
I like the way everybody guessed I was on about Guendouzi in the chat. Then
forgot
this
about
was it. He was chased out.
the
Apparently,
thing,
Timber's better than Rob Holding.
Like Josh, you're better than
Yeah.
Rob Holdings.
Yeah.
That's not.
That's it, innit? Depth. Like, we were clearly lacking depth. Like,
Yeah,
you know, big time. When Saliba got injured.
exactly.
Yeah.
So surely the incomings have to be more than the outgoings. So I'm like,
Yeah.
if we're signing, if those are the 3 players we're signing, and then we're letting Partey, Xhaka, and Rob Holding go, it's have we improved? Let's put it that way. Yeah, let's say if we let Xhaka, Partey, and forget about Rob Holding. If we let Xhaka and Partey go, and we get Rice and Timber and Havertz, would you say our squad has improved?
Yeah, I guess it's got to be one more. It looks like it is
It has
going
to be,
be,
doesn't it?
right?
Yeah.
Like, that's why we were being, even if it's not Lavia, someone else.
I agree. I think
Right.
one more. I don't know. It's not going to be a striker, but I think it's not going to be right. I don't know which position it's going to be. Maybe another midfielder. I think it's just another midfielder. Add another midfielder in there.
It's up front. It just feels a little bit weak for me up front with Jesus, Martinelli, and Saka. I mean, and even if you throw Odegaard into that sort of mix and Havertz, they've all sort of like skinny, gangly, weak players on the board. You know what I mean?
They score a lot of goals, though.
They do score.
Yeah.
They're all the
They
same
do.
profile of player. I give
Yeah,
you
we don't have, like, a big guy to bring on. I get that.
Yeah.
that would be a lovely to have. Like if
Yeah.
we added a 6'3".
I don't think
I think
Arteta
it's
wants
Havertz.
that, though, right? He doesn't seem to be interested in that sort of thing at
No,
all.
he's like a pet. But apparently, you can have Aubameyang special prize 50p.
You know what we need? You know what I'd love is Giroud. If we had Giroud 5 years ago, Giroud as a backup strike, that's
Giroud.
perfect because he can play. He's a very technical footballer and he can do the target forward.
He was superb. I mean,
It's just
what
not
he's
many.
saying is it's a downgrade at the moment. You do need that one more for an
It's
upgrade.
even, isn't it? I feel it's relatively, but obviously
Yeah.
it's an unknown because we know what we're getting with Jack and Partey. We don't know what. We don't
Yeah, 'cause
even
it's
know
a-
if Rice is going to fit. Like it's a very high
Yeah.
chance, but you never know with any signings whether they.
And it's a bit of a weird because it doesn't look like a financial thing either. It's not like you're balancing the books by doing all of these potentially, because I imagine the money that Rice is going to be on, the money that Havertz is going to be on, it's not going to be nothing. So I just
it feels
can't-
like it's all being built kind of slowly, right?
Yeah.
Like season by season. Maybe it's like a 5-year plan or something to be amazing at that point. 'Cause you can't do it all now. You know, we're not City. You can't sign everyone you want now.
well, you could break all the rules like City. I mean, that's how they do it.
Yeah,
Just
maybe we should, yeah.
just disregard
There you
all,
go.
all
Make
the
up a
obligations.
sponsor.
Yeah.
Josh got his little
Exactly.
City slanter bite in there. It's at least one a pod.
I mean, it is. But I mean, while we're on Arsenal, I'm not sure if anybody's seen this today, but one of my favourite Arsenal-related things at the moment, if I can find it, here it is. Mr. Wenger. Mr. Wenger's been in the news, changing football for the better. The offside rule.
So is it actually Wenger's thing? Because I thought that was a
Wen-
joke.
No, it's Wenger's thing. I checked it in the paper. FIFA are close to deciding it, and this is what he's saying. He's saying that is.
I think
See
there's
my
a bit
mouth?
of fake news about. So, like, I don't know if Wenger came up with it or whatever, but there was rumours that it was going to be trialled in certain leagues, but apparently it's nowhere near being trialled. So I don't think we have to worry about it yet.
We're not ready.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't like it. I mean, it doesn't.
What?
It
What do you think?
doesn't make
It's
sense to me.
I think Erling Haaland's going to score 200 goals in a season if that's the case.
Yeah,
I mean,
Yes.
this is like the level of goals is going to be ridiculous.
Can
I
you
get
ima-
the reasoning, but I mean,
Yeah, because I'm all on for like daylight. I like the idea that there's a day because it makes it clear and concise. But the problem is everyone's so fast, and like you said, Haaland, dear Jesus, he can be onside by 10 yards, and he'll still beat you to the ball. So this it does scare the shit out of me. I'm
It's
not
quite
sure what
risky.
teams. I mean,
think
what
you're
teams
gonna
do you think
change
these
football.
are? Yeah,
That's
Poland.
PES United.
Oh,
and,
PES, yeah.
I was gonna say
Poland, I think.
that's your team, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's who it is. But have I got lots of mouse on this screen though? Incidentally,
Yeah.
can you see that?
It's doing
God,
a
look
flicker
at
thing.
that magic. So I mean, are we on board with this? Apparently, Chris is saying it was going to be in the likes of Sweden, allegedly.
It's
I
fake,
think
yeah.
But Rashford will score 100.
Yeah. Oh God.
Timo Werner would score.
Timo Werner would definitely have to get an apology. He would have scored a lot of goals.
That's magic, isn't it? Apparently, anything would be better than what it is. I mean, I like this in principle. But if you had to, you have to bring in one of Wenger's rules because he's been employed by FIFA for a good couple of years now, and he's done nothing. I don't think anything that he's introduced. So if you had to choose between this and kick-ins instead of throw-ins, which one are you going?
Was that one of his?
Yeah, kick-ins instead of throw-ins with Wenger's.
He did say, to be fair, he said that away goals should be scrapped in Europe ages ago.
I
And
agree.
that has
with that.
happened, but
Yeah.
that's not obviously.
I was going to say, is that when he was manager of Arsenal and you kept losing?
Yeah, because that always done us every single
Yeah, it
time,
did.
right? It was always away goals.
It should have been scrapped ages ago. That away goal. It was silly.
Hmm.
Oh,
I don't know. I think this is a dangerous.
Yeah, I don't.
I'm
know.
thinking
I don't
very,
think it's
yeah.
going to happen either. I think
Worst
it's too
case
big a
scenario.
change.
So
It
you
changes
want-
it too much, right?
Yeah, it
It's
does.
like-
It changes the whole art of defending because there's no such
Yeah.
thing as an offside trap with that. You can't try and catch a player offside now. You have to step back all the time, which means every team is going to be parking the bus. In theory, there's no offside trap with that system.
Yeah, this is very true. So you're going for kick-ins instead of throw-ins, you?
Oh. The thing is, the VAR at the moment is so bad. It's like it's come to this that we've had to go to a radical change just because of how bad it is.
Because I mean, I'd be stuffed because I have very pointy nipples, and I would probably be offside all the time because of my massive areoli. Just
You
keep
joke,
me
but
off-
you would be offside, and that is what it is. It's like literally people's elbows are keeping them offside, which is ridiculous. But there's got to be a middle ground between this and the current system.
So we're not. So for Arson, if you're looking for feedback, we're not on board with that. Or your kick-ins.
The kick-ins would be funny. It would look funny, wouldn't it? It would be free kicks. There would be teams that just take every single throw in like a free
American
kick.
football,
right?
yeah.
It'd be like
Blast into the
it'd be
box.
like Stoke just at an extremes instead of Delap just launching it in. You'd have this
God.
Roberto Carlos just by your own goal
Absolutely
launching
leathering
it.
Yeah.
Up into the...
Imagine you had both rules come in. You just have so many goals every game, right?
Yeah.
That's
That's what it looks like they're doing. They're just appeasing all the GA merchants that are out there, just making it easier for strikers to score more and more goals.
Exactly.
We just need goals. But I mean, speaking of teams that have been scoring goals or haven't been, Liverpool have made some signings. What I mean, Lucas, I think I've seen you say something positive somewhere, and as a Liverpool fan, I want to feel the love.
I have no, it's really, I have no beef with Liverpool, never have. But I think, pound for pound, I think you've had the best transfer window so far of any team in the league. I think you're the only one who's directly addressed the issue that you had in midfield. You've signed two very good midfielders, young and experienced, current internationals. One who just won a World Cup as was one of their key players, and Szoboszlai has been on the radar for ages, and he's still only 22, and he's brilliant. I think he's a very good player. So your midfield, your team looks completely different now. So taking out Henderson and a half-fit Thiago, or Keita / Oxlade-Chamberlain, and replacing it with McAllister, Szoboszlai, Fabinho instantly makes your team better for me. I think I'm worried about Liverpool next season. I think you lot are, and you're not finished. I saw you're after Lavia now.
We still have to Kefren Thuram and Lavia.
Who is
as
he?
well.
I keep hearing about him. Who does he play for?
Which one?
Thuram?
For he's Germany, isn't he? I think I want to say Leverkusen.
Is it Mönchengladbach he plays for, or
that's-
Leverkusen?
I just assume that all players in Germany play for Leverkusen. They're half good. He is at. I
That
bet
was
you
the
Chris
other
knows.
Thuram in the World Cup final. There's two.
He plays. Oh, he's French. He plays for Nice. Oh, brilliant!
Is
He's-
it?
he's-
Marcus Thuram.
That's even
that
better.
better?
'Cause it'd be cheaper.
Right.
We're going to be in for bargains. That's going to be absolutely
Less of a risk
super.
as well. No Bundesliga tax.
Yeah, that's super. And
lot-
he's got
you lot smashed
sensational
it.
hair. He is. I mean, have you
I
seen
look-
his hair? Incidentally, what a set of dreads that is.
You lot, I just look at your right hand side now, and you know what? Actually, I look at, if we were to play at you, and I'm thinking, oh my god, Zinchenko up against Salah, Szoboszlai, and Trent on that right hand side. I'm like, we are like that right hand side is deadly now. It's really dangerous with those three. So I think Liverpool you're gonna slap teams next season.
It would be nice. I mean, Mason has Klopp bought a new hamstring. That was good. I love managers injuring themselves. It's superb.
I think you do need a right back though, or deal breakers. I think that's the missing piece.
Well, we've got the young lad Cal. I want to say his name's Callum Robinson.
Sent him on loan though, didn't you?
Yeah, he went to Aberdeen. I think he went back to Aberdeen on loan or somewhere last season. In theory, I thought he's meant to be quite good. In theory, communism works. In theory, but I don't know.
Should have got Timber.
Depends.
Right back / centre back would have been perfect. So I think you need a centre back as well.
Yes, Calvin Ramsey. So I can't remember the name I said. It wasn't Calvin Ramsey though. Whatever name it was, not a clue.
No, it's really good that you stuck with Klopp through the sort of really bad part of the season, because the amount of now everyone is just getting sacked constantly, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's just quite nice, because then if you do have a good season now, it'd be amazing that he's been able to have all that success, have a bad time, and then rebuild all of it as well. You know.
I mean, I will say, FSG get such a mixed bag off Liverpool fans. Some of them hate him, some of them really love him. I've got to be honest. At the start of this transfer window, when we pulled out of the transfer that won't be named,
Sorry,
one, the one that really upset
too
me.
soon.
It's still annoying. When they pulled out of that, that's the first time I've ever thought, do you know what, actually, I know FSG make mistakes, you know, there's all the COVID, getting the payments for the staff and that. It's the first time I've thought, do you know what, actually, I think they might be totally off boil here. But one thing they've run the club well. We make money. We are now profitable. We're an extremely profitable club. But I think we could spend something like 250 million and still not fall short of financial fair play for this or next season, even though we weren't in the Champions League. So they've run that quite well. They've invested in the stadium. The second time the stadium's been enlarged, after they looked at trying to move us and decided, no, we want to stay at Anfield. They've done that. They got us a new training facilities. They decided they wanted to invest in the women's football, so they brought Melwood back from the developers. And so I think they do everything. They run it quite well. They run it like an American sports team, as in they run it quite well as a business. And then Klopp's a successful manager. Who's better than Klopp? There isn't a better manager than Klopp. Who are we going to bring in? Poch.
That's one extreme, but it's debatable. I think to be fair, now it's very clear. If you have a bad season, then you can all safely say maybe it's time to move Klopp on, because you've reinvested in the squad. So I think I agree with Bilal. I think keeping him and then giving him the money and saying, look, we trust you, rebuild this team, make us competitive again. If he doesn't do it, then you can safely say, well, we tried everything to see if Klopp would do it. Time for a new. It's a win-win situation, Liverpool, at the moment. Like, I don't see how you end up worse off at all.
Yeah. Who do Liverpool have? Like, you got Nunes, and what do you do who's his backup? If he gets
Darwin. Darwin's the backup. He's third choice at the moment.
It depends on like how because up in that position we got Diaz, we got Gakpo, we got Salah.
Sure. Oh, Gakpo! I forgot about Gakpo. Yeah. What do you think about him?
Do you know what? I before he came, I liked him. I always thought he was a winger though. In my head, he was playing out on that wide wing because that's sort of what he did at PSV. But when he come in, actually, he's. I want to make a comparison. He's not Luis Suarez. Nobody's ever Luis Suarez, but he's a sort of cross between Suarez and Sterling. When Sterling wins his pomp for me, because he's like fast. He can do things. His technique is good, and he can finish and put his vision's really good. I like him. I really do, and I think having Gakpo and Diaz and Salah being able to bring on Nunes off the bench is like sort of bringing on what we wanted to have with Benteke. We wanted to have a big, strong player, but he just happened to be crap. He only actually played well against Liverpool. But, I think Chris likes him. Mason likes him. Lisa likes him. Apparently, he's Poe from Teletubbies.
I think he's good. I think I think the Gakpo one makes sense. The Nunes one, I'm still scratching my head. But Gakpo, you barely spent any money on. You pipped Man United to him, and he slot into that false 9 position. I think he looks quite natural there. He's no Bobby, of course.
No,
but
one on his own. Isn't he?
I think Gakpo is a step in the right direction. Nunes, I think you might have a Pepe situation here where because he's been playing off the left, right? Because Klopp doesn't trust him down the middle because he can't do the link up. But now you've got Jota and Diaz.
Yeah, Jota's the other. That's the name I forget. He keeps getting bloody injured. Jota's the other one.
Oh yeah.
I think Nunes is he is a really expensive plan B.
Yeah.
I think I love him. His attitude's lovely. He's really fast. He tries really hard. He looks really good in our new kit pictures. I don't know if you've seen. With his hair up and his man bun and his glasses on, he looks really good from an advertiser perspective.
I just think you looked. I think as soon as Diaz came back, I was like, God, Liverpool, like they're only a few pieces here from giving it a go, and I think you've done that. I just think with your team fit and those 2 new additions, I think you've got a good chance of giving it a good go next season.
I mean, if we bring those other 2 in, my only concern is that Thiago's rumoured to leave at the moment. I think I did see something on the old Twitter arty that he's actually speaking to someone and potentially moving on. I'm going to see if I can find. I mean, what are you
on though? He's a great player, but he's not available.
I like having that experience. That's my only thing is that the experience in the room. When now Milner's gone as well, that's my only concern with him.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's been linked to Fenerbahce and Barcelona and probably Saudi Arabia.
Oh, yeah.
we'll throw that into
probably
everyone.
True.
Because everybody's probably linked with him.
Link up with Stevie G.
Yeah. I mean, apparently we're out of the race for Ryan Gravenberch, allegedly. I've just seen this while I'm looking. But, yeah, we'll see. But, I mean, while you touch on it, yeah, Stevie G to Saudi Arabia, after rejecting them first off. I mean, what the hell?
I don't understand. Like, I don't get it. Because these guys, you just think they have enough money, right? Like, he could... I thought he'd go to like the Championship now or something, and that that'd be all right. Yeah. But it's just weird. Like, where do you go after that? Yeah.
Probably to the Championship, knowing Gerrard. Gerrard and Lampard, for some reason, I feel like they're just always going to get given jobs.
Well, Lampard might as well go Saudi, right?
Would you need to work? Would you need to work again?
True.
Go there.
Maybe if that's the case, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if I was them in reality, I'd be saying, give me a 5-year contract and get sacked after 2. You've had a lovely holiday. You've got a massive payout. That's it.
I don't understand it, man. Do you think you'll ever watch the Saudi League? I don't think I'm ever going to watch a second. Like, I just don't care, even if they add even better players. Like,
I don't think it's got an appeal to. There's no stories. Like, I don't know the stories and the rivalries, and that's what it is. It doesn't matter who the players are.
I'll give you the story now. I mean, but Brightside is saying Saudi Arabia's a bit like Tech Pro thinking NFTs for the future. It's amazing. I did enjoy that. But the story for Saudi Arabia is they wanted to get involved in football. So they bought Newcastle United, but that's not enough. We don't want just one team. Well. We want a league with all the players.
Well, so they wanted to make it Messi versus Ronaldo, didn't they? And it didn't work out. And now they're just grabbing random
plan
players.
B, yeah.
Yeah.
just everyone. It's like, what are you
I don't
doing,
know.
mate? You
It's
fancy
a
playing
generational
football?
thing, though, isn't it? It's like maybe they might be onto something. Like the next generation of football fans, they might not really care as much and just follow certain players abroad. Like you don't know. For us, I think it's we're not going to stop watching the Prem and start watching just because our favorite players go over there. But yeah, you never know.
I guess that's what it's like with the new kind of fans. Like, the whole thing with the Super League where there was legacy fans, which is us, and then I
Yeah.
can't remember what the term was for the new fans, but all these people that are into, that have a picture of Ronaldo as their profile picture and
Yeah.
kind of follow him wherever he goes. Maybe that's becoming more and more of a
It's a
thing.
new person that you got to remember. There's personalities now in football like there never was before. So you have people
When's
getting into the
Pogba
game
going
for
then?
specific people.
When Paul Pogba going over there,
I'm surprised he hasn't
Makes
actually.
sense.
It makes complete sense.
Yeah.
He fits the exact profile of the players they're signing. So yeah, I'm shocked about that one. Maybe it's in the works.
yeah, exactly. I mean, we've got the chat. I mean, Saudi League is a new MLS where people go for one last big payday. It's the new Super League. I wish Kante all the best because he seems like a nice guy. He does. Sky and BT are going to try and win the rights on the Saudi League. I don't think they're going to need the money though, Saudi Arabia, to be honest, like the Premier League. But my favorite chat, favorite comment I've seen so far is Lampard couldn't manage the Wetherspoons. And I wholeheartedly concur. But it's a weird one. Chris saying they're going to have Martial for free.
Would it surprise you at this rate?
I genuinely, there's so many, but I mean, Martial needs to move to Chelsea first, and then in
Would that surprise you at this rate? To be honest,
and it wouldn't surprise me if Saudi gave United the money to buy, gave Chelsea the money to buy him, to then buy him off Chelsea, because why not? They're buying players off teams and loaning them to Newcastle anyway.
There's still some surprises left, I think. You got Neymar, you got Mbappe. There's
Mbappe's
milling
the one,
around.
isn't it?
Not that Mbappe to Arsenal one, not that nonsense, because that's not happening. There's no way.
And if I see anybody tweeting Mbappe to Liverpool again,
With the LeBron James link and stuff again.
we'll have a Fabrizio Romano style phone call.
Where did that even come from, the Arsenal one? That's weird, isn't it?
It's Twitter again, isn't it? I feel like I feel like people make a page, call it something like fancy with sport at the end, and then they tweet official French Federation rumors, and then people just retweet, and then it just gets lost, and nobody knows where the original source is.
Yeah, I mean, how would it think about the wages he'd have to be on and everything. It's like,
I think it's purely the salary with Mbappe. I think a deal can be cut because 105 million Declan Rice, 100 million on Grealish, 150 to 200 million on Mbappe is not. It's not crazy at all.
No.
It is purely his salary.
And I have to be honest, of all the footballers going for big money at the moment, I'd say he's probably one of the few that's worth it. Yeah,
he's marketable. He
wants
score
Madrid,
a shit
though,
ton.
right?
Yeah, he does.
So,
I think he can be persuaded, but because he can go to Madrid, he's only 22. He can go to Madrid in 3-4
I mean,
years.
that's why I didn't think Bellingham was going to go there, because I thought he had all of his career, and if he wants to play in a crappy league with only 2 teams involved, he could have done it after he's played in a good one.
I
But
mean,
that's fine.
it is Real Madrid, to be fair.
Don't you be sticking up for him.
But Neymar's the interesting one. But I think he's going. He's going. I think the joke was his tickets. He's in Miami on holiday, and I think everyone was saying it's a one-way ticket. He's not coming back. He'll sign for Messi's team over there.
Oh, Messi would be chuffed to bits, wouldn't he? Didn't Messi say something very questionable to Neymar in his departing tweet? Did anybody see that?
no.
Oh God, I cannot remember. If anybody in the chat,
strange a bit.
he said something about Neymar doing something that he shouldn't be doing. Like, I'm not sure if it was a tax-wise or
It's the stuff with him. He's been sliding in a lot of DMs, Neymar, while his missus is pregnant. And they've all the Instagram models they've just been reposting it on the screenshots, him just going hey or hola in the chat.
Hola, señorita.
Yeah, he's been a naughty boy, but even him, I don't know. There's links with Chelsea, I think it'd be fun. Just come to the Prem for a little bit, Neymar. Why not?
As long as it's United. Newcastle, Chelsea, a team with money to waste because I think he would be garbage. I just don't rate him. I'm really saying in the chat, football is so sleazy. Footballers are so sleazy, and some are even worse. But we don't get into that on this show because that's a rabbit hole you don't want to fall into. Apparently, Mbappe is 24. Solaris had Mbappe and Haaland at Arsenal and FM 22. That is something that would never happen. And Mason said it's weird that there's not going to be a World Cup in the winter this year. It's a good thing. Mr. Willie said he'd reply to Neymar if he slid in his DMs. I would, because think of the money when you sell that story. And Deal Breaks of Chelsea. Bowley's desperate for his franchise player.
Yeah. This is the thing about Chelsea. Like, is Bowley going to keep being absolutely nuts? Right? Because he's crazy, the guy. The story about him going into the dressing room at half time and wanting the players to meet his like friends' kids and all of that stuff. Like, is that all drastically gonna go away?
Ted Lasso.
Yeah,
He's loving it, isn't he?
I think the franchise player is a good comment though. Like, I didn't think about it like that because they don't. It's a load of young players who are yet settled, and maybe you do need just to add a franchise player in there to take the heat off them. Throw a load of money at Neymar, and it takes off the pressure of all of these young players who've come from random countries around Europe. It's a smart move, I think.
Maybe there's actually genius to him. I mean, Willie's saying here he wanted Ronaldo, and Simon Jordan comes. That's why Tuchel got the sack. And I think maybe he's onto something. Maybe Bowley isn't mental, just as wild. He's actually a genius.
I mean, their outgoings suggest he's not all over the place, unless that was just done by the people he's actually left in charge. But Neymar to Chelsea, I think, has definitely got legs.
Oh, I mean, if it hasn't, we're starting that rumour now. Neymar has officially been linked to Chelsea at Absolute Football Real Podcasts, Transfers, TrustUs.com. And that's it. But by Lucas. Lucas has a friend whose mate works in the canteen of Chelsea. and he overheard Bowley having a burger with Pochettino, telling him how good it is. And that was a discussion that they had.
All you need to start the rumour mill.
True story. But I mean, and before we go, we are at the tail end, and thank you everybody for bearing with us. My favourite I like to have a heartwarming story in football. And the heartwarming story for me, Roy Hodgson, 75 years old. 2 or 3 of my grandparents were dead before they reached the same age as Roy Hodgson. He's staying on for another season at Crystal Palace, and he's targeting a top half finish. Roy Hodgson, Bilal, how does that make you feel?
Well, initially, I like Vieira, so I was disappointed he got sacked, And I thought it was kind of boring, like when teams just sort of buy back the same players or hire the same managers. I just think, come on, do something different. But he smashed it, didn't he? Yeah, did really well. Yeah. I wonder what it will be like now, having a full season. Because before it was kind of a low bar, because Vieira was doing quite badly, wasn't he? So, do you think he'll get sacked halfway through the season? That'd be funny.
He's going to be checking his blood sugars at half time and everything. He's probably got like a heart
very
monitor.
risky from Palace. It's very risky, but it's also quite safe as well. It's a bit of both, isn't it? Especially with Zaha. Zaha's gone, right?
It looks like it. He's had offers from like 4 clubs. Like strong offers. That was the latest thing.
I would take him, but we gave him
contract. I would have just done it just to see
Zaha at Arsenal. See what happens.
You haven't got enough Zaha-esque players at Arsenal either, really, have you?
I think if we brought Zaha and said, look, you're going to be a backup to Saka or on the left hand. I mean, don't go Spurs. This has got Spurs written all over it, hasn't it?
Yes, and that's fine because they take underperformers. I mean, in the chat, go on, Roy. Andy likes a bit of Roy. Deal Breaker. This is the sequel, the movie for their Amazon series. You've had All or Nothing. You've now got Boy the Boy Voids again. He loves being on the training pitch with the players. He does because he loves to show how to do the scorpion kicks in training. He does. He loves it. And we've got lots of Zaha commentary. He could join us. Saudi team. He gets north of Watford. He does. You need a good Saka backup, which he could be. You need another Gabriel, apparently. And the last comment before we sign, which team do you think is going to panic buy Big Sam next season? Do you think this is
Luton,
because
probably after like 2 games?
You know what? The fixes are out. When are Luton going to the Etihad? Because I need to make sure I'm free for that game. Because that's going to be.
Oh my god,
that is going to be horrific.
I can't wait to see their stadium on TV, man. It's going to look so cool.
Oh, they've let him off the hook. 13th of April, 2024. Ah, the Premier have done them nicely there. To be fair, right at the end.
I mean, judging by how they played in the playoffs. Obviously, they're going to sign a load of players, but I mean, they looked like well off it, didn't they?
It was bad, yeah. It was. I thought the other semi-final
Coventry was
much better.
Coventry did Luton. They should have had it, but
yeah,
that's as someone who lived in Coventry for 6 years. That's where my wife and my daughter's from. It's a sore point for me. And Willie is saying they'll already be relegated by the time they get to the Etihad, and Stellaris remembers him in the first division, which can't be that long ago. But I think, God blimey, I keep meaning to click off, and another one's popping up. It's only a 10k seater at the Kenilworth Road. It'll be a humdinger, and Hayden Allen hat-trick inside the semi-detached house. I mean, if you live around the stadium, you will be able to get a football out of your garden. I have no doubt. At some point, it's gonna be stupendous. But before we go, those of you that have been chasing this will know Bilal isn't here every week. He's not here every week. Bilal, where can people find you when they're looking for you, and what are you going to be doing?
So my Twitter is Zafar Cakes, ZAFAR Cakes. It's that across all social media, Twitch as well. I'm going to be streaming a lot more, I think. Mainly streaming and stand up. So like I said before, the Edinburgh Fringe is the big one. If anyone's around there, I'm all over the country, and I'll probably do a tour of this show after. So yeah, all over the place. Yeah, cheers.
And I've got there was a comment. I think here you go. For Solaris said he's going to carry a sign into your show, so you can see who Solaris is. You can see. So keep your eyes open, Bilal. But no, a massive thank you for joining us, and a big thanks always to the man lifting the bar of good looks, charm, and sophistication, and just a voice like caramel. Lucas, where can everybody find you, sir?
You can find me on Twitch. I'm back to a bit of a regular schedule at the moment, so and FM's back as well, FM streams, and I've got my stream anniversary on Saturday. 3 years since I started. 3 years?
Hot
2 or 3
hot
years.
Tub streaming? Hot tub stream?
I don't know if the missus will allow that. I'll have to run it past her. But I think I was going to leave, but I think I'm probably going to give Elden Ring a go. That's going to be a nightmare, but why not? And I'm on TikTok as well.
And you can't miss out the tickety tick talk. And if for reasons that I can't understand, you want more of myself, I am at FMFO_official on everything. Twitter is what I'm primarily on at the moment because I can't be asked to stream at the minute. I just can't be bothered. I'm a dad with 2 kids, and my wife is working full-time nights now, so time is at the premium, and I'm really enjoying playing on my Xbox and drinking rum in the evenings. So
Sounds like a life.
Yeah, it's sort of killing my streaming. But if you want to get involved in a hearty debate on Twitter, come and join in. I get abused quite frequently, and everybody loves it. But please as well, follow the podcast. It's on Twitter, it's at Absolute Ball Pod, at TikTok, at Absolute Football Pod, at Instagram, Absolute Football Podcast _. And we're now also on Facebook, the Book of Faces, the Absolute Football Podcast. Find us there, find us, follow us, show us love, be nice, be kind, share the love, be love spreaders, not hate makers. And Bilal, thank you for joining us. Lucas, thank you. And everybody in the chat, it's been excellent. Thank you very much. Have a lovely day. Don't forget, Bilal is streaming immediately after this. He might need to have a wee and splash his face, and he'll be on it. But thank you very much, everybody. Have a lovely, lovely, lovely time, and we shall see you next time. TTFN. Ta-ta for now.